Okay, for those of you who don't know, my name is Michael Forrest, and welcome to It's Quest Time. Now, before we get going, if I can ask you to stay up off of the stage here, this way nobody really blocks the display, and it gives me a little bit of room to move around, do the whole hosting thing, right? All right, also, if I can direct your attention to your menu wheel in the lower left, you're going to see the collection of circles there. At the very top of that, you're going to see a microphone icon. When that microphone icon is clear, that means I can hear what's happening around you in your environment. We all can. But we've gone ahead, we've turned that to red, and that means that you're muted. So if somebody comes into your space and says, hey, are you still on that thing? Feel free to answer them because we're not going to hear any of that. Right now, just because you're muted doesn't mean you can't express yourself. You're going to notice that in your menu wheel, you have a pink cheek smiley face emoji. And when you click on that, your emoji panel opens up in front of you. And it's going to offer you a wide variety of options which to express yourself. I see a lot of you already got a handle on this already. Like, let's say I say something really deep, something really powerful that touches you down low, and it starts to build up inside. You can just let it out, just let it flow just like that. Maybe I got some backup dancers backstage, right? Maybe they come out and we break into It's Quest Time, the musical, and you're all very impressed. You can throw up the applause that I live for, and I can take a moment to drink it in because it feels good. All right. Now, also, likewise, if I ask you guys a yes or no question, you can say yes by smiling like this, or you can say no by frowning like that, or maybe I say something funny, right? You want to show me you're laughing? You can use the silly emoji right here to show me that. And then there's this. This is not how you ask a question, right? This is how you get my attention if something's gone wrong, right? So if I'm up here and I'm waving my hands around, it looks like I'm saying something, it looks like I'm talking, and you're like, this guy's moving around, it looks like he's talking, but no sound's coming out. Maybe we should let him know. It's a good idea. So you put up that hand like that, right? If I see one of them, I'm just going to keep on going. But if I see 5 going up at once, I know there's a problem. Like maybe the display behind me suddenly burst into flames. Don't laugh. It actually happened a couple of times because our moderators have a sense of humor. And sometimes they get a little carried away. They're like, we're going to moderate all day. We're going to show this guy what for. We're going to set his stage on fire. But yeah, that can happen. So it's good to let me know about that kind of thing. But if I only see one of them going, I'm going to keep going. Now, also, there's an X in the middle of there to let you close that emoji panel, take it away there. But it's a good idea to leave it open during events like this because it gives me feedback. It lets me know how I'm doing. But more importantly, it lets the people around you know what you're experiencing. So if the person next to you starts going like this, that means they think something's funny and you may not agree. You may be like, that's not funny at all. I don't agree with that's not funny. I'm going to go stand over here. And you can totally do that because this is VR, right? All right, now, Quest Time is an event for Oculus Go users, but all are welcome. So if you're on another device, feel free to hang out. You may pick up some useful information that's going to help our growing Quest community. But while you got these emoji panels open, let me ask you guys some questions so I know how to proceed. How many of you are on a Quest right now? Let me see some hearts if you're on a Quest. Show me some love if you're on a Quest. Anybody here on a Quest? All right, cool. Oh, good. Yeah, that's a lot of you. Excellent. All right, good. All right. Wow, that's a lot. All right. How many of you are new to Altspace? Let me see some. Let me see some smiles if you're new to Altspace. Any new Altspace users? Okay, a few of you. Oh, that's a lot. Okay, cool. Well, welcome to Altspace. How many of you have come from an Oculus Go to a Quest? Anybody former Oculus Go users? Okay, got a couple. All right, that's a few. All right, good. How many of you your Quest is relatively new? Like you're just starting out. I know some of you just started Altspace, but how many are new to the Quest? Like you just recently got it. Okay, that's one right there. Okay, cool. Got it. Now it gives me some notion of how to proceed. Thanks, everybody. All right. When I first got my Quest, right, I was coming from an Oculus Go, and I was really looking forward to it because, I had been in Altspace for a while on Oculus Go, and I was, used to talking with one hand. It's like I grew up in Brooklyn, so I talk with my hands a lot, right? So I'm talking with my hands, right? But all anybody saw in Altspace was my hand going like this, and I really wanted this hand because I really wanted to be able to go like that, right? I wanted to move my hands around, both of them. And when my controllers finally arrived, right, I took a good look at them and I'm like, you know what? This is a lot of buttons. That's a lot to take in. So I like to go over this stuff. Now, if you're ready, listen, I know you have the basics down, so you wouldn't be here today. Like when you move your left thumbstick, you move around like this. When you move your right thumbstick, you turn around in these circles like that. And when you combine them, you get these big, elaborate circles that make my presentation so much more dramatic. If you could, everybody go in a big circle like this, because when I look out in the audience, it's going to look like you're ballroom dancing and like take a good look, see what that looks like. Everybody's like, okay, not everybody's doing it. I'm going to do it too. Okay, let's see. Let's all go through this. Get these big circles like that. All right, here we go. Let me see how it looks. Oh, that's cool. I used to always say, I wish you could, look, bubbles. Check that out. Bubbles are coming out of the rug. We washed the carpet here today before you guys arrived. Apparently, there's still soap in it. I'm sorry. Like I said, my moderators get a little carried away sometimes. But yeah, so what can happen is, and that made me lose my place entirely. All right, okay. But yeah, so when you're doing these big elaborate circles like that, I always look out and I say, I wish you guys could see what I see. And now you can, because we have a YouTube channel. So if you want to like see yourself and feel Altspace famous for a moment, you can check out our YouTube channel and check it out. If you see Raven Eye up there that's floating in the air behind you, that's our YouTube camera. If you want to wave out to YouTube now, you can turn around, do this whole wave thing, and be like, hey, YouTube, you see this person in the white jacket with the reddish hair? That's Obama Dog Alpha. In the green here, you got Mason. You got Brody right here in the blue, in the nice blue shirt with the nice peaceful blue hair, matching hair, very stylish. And then you got Crab Legs 23 right here. But if you just want to wave out to YouTube, you can totally do that. You feel Altspace famous. It's a good thing. All right, now what I like to do is I like to go over these controls. Now, if you're familiar with the controls already, don't worry. We like to make this fun for everybody. So we're gonna do some movement stuff to go with it, while anyone that's new to the Quest can get used to the controls in kind of a hurry, right? So what we're going to do here is on the right controller and the left controller, you've got your grip button, and this is how you interact with your environment. So, the way that I'm grabbing this laser pointer here is is by using that grip button. And if I want to switch it over to my other hand, I can, just hold the left grip button like that, right? And now this is going to, if you're messing with the world editor, if you're in the world beta program, you can do it through your main menu, and you're off building worlds with your own two hands, right? And you're interacting with the environment. This is going to change the behavior of your right thumbstick, and you should know that, because if you're working with the editor and you're placing an object and you go to turn to the right, instead of turning to the right, you're going to notice the object blows up and gets bigger. Because when you're holding an object in the world editor, if you move the thumbstick right or left, you're going to notice that the size or the scale of the object changes. If you move the thumbstick forward or back, it's going to push the object away, or it's going to pull it closer to you. Okay, what's going on in the back there? You're really into it, Travis, huh? You having a good time? All right, cool. That's good. I'm glad people enjoyed it, so it's nice. All right, so let's see what else you have here. Now, while these are a lot of buttons to take, keep in mind that some of these buttons do the same thing, right? So like this right select button and this trigger button here on the right, and also if you have your left pointer enabled, you're going to notice this left select button. When you have all this going on, you can, if you hold down your right trigger button, for example, and you look through the audience, right, like that, you move your hand through the crowd, what you're going to notice is everyone's name tag appears above their head, right? And that's how I know everybody's name so quickly. So I can just look at Brody and say, that's Brody right there, right? And there's Corrupted Shadow 8, right? He started out as a good shadow, but then things went wrong. He got into the light side, and he just got corrupt. He's a corrupted shadow. And there was 7 before him. But yeah, so basically, some of these buttons will do the same thing. And apparently, if you hold it down there, you can, just like move it around the crowd like that. And that's the like button there. Now, also, if you hold down your left trigger button, this is going to cause you to accelerate. All right. So if I'm walking or flying along and I hold down my left button, I'm going to start going really fast. I can run out into the audience, and we can start going in a circle. And I can say, everybody, if we all start spinning in a circle like this, if you get dizzy, don't do this. But if you go in a big circle like this, maybe we can make a hurricane, right? Maybe we can make it rain. Maybe we can, just go in this big circle. Let me get an idea. Look how that looks. Let's check out your formation here. It's not really like circular. It's kind of like sort of running back and forth. We can do that too. You want to go back and forth? Go over to the raining. That's not rain. That's bubbles. Fury, knock it off. All right, with special effects, not really working out. All right, but everybody can kind of go back and forth like this, and you get the idea. If you hold down that left trigger, you're going to accelerate and go faster. Okay. So now what can happen here is you also have this teleport button on your right and left controller. Now, this is cool. If you're in a line dash teleport, which I hope you are, it's a fun transition. It feels like you're flinging yourself across the room. If everybody joins me by lining up against this wall right here, what you're going to notice is if you hold down your right teleport button and you aim at the ground, you're going to see your teleport circle appear on the floor, right? But what you can do is you can have, we got somebody really sad up in balcony, but now it's in love. Then he's sad again. But if you hold down your teleport button and aim at the ground, you see your white circle there. If you aim across the room toward that other wall, as soon as you let go, boom, you get thrown across the room, just like that, right? Everybody teleport on over to me. Now, if you hold down your left teleport button, you can aim at the ground, right? And as soon as you let go, boom, you get thrown right across the room, right? And another thing you can do that's fun is if you hold down both teleporters at once, right? You can make an X with them on the floor. And if you let go at the same time, you zig and you zag. Well, didn't zigzag that time. Let's try that again. Zig, zag. There we go. All right, cool. Another thing you can do is if you're facing the stage, right? You can kind of like, let's see, you walk backwards And as you're moving backwards, you can aim at the ground and teleport like that. And if you hold down your accelerator button, you can do it fast. And this is like the Altspace equivalent of the moonwalk, right? You can be like going back like that, right? I wouldn't sing it because there would be a copyright violation. I don't want to break the law. But yeah, another thing that you can do, I found this out recently. Actually, I was on another event, right? And the audience was closing in on me and I had to get back on stage in a hurry. And on reflex, and I never knew you could do this before, but what I did was I reached my hand over my head like this and I teleported backwards. So you can teleport backwards. I never knew that. Been in Altspace for a long time and I didn't know that. You can try it right now. You put your hand over your head like that and just go like that. It's pretty cool. It's kind of useful too, actually. You know, you have this all around view. As a matter of fact, when I used to go to the Ugiverse, I was at the Ugiverse one time, and back then it was held in a large world, right? And at the end, I went exploring it, right? And I'm looking around, and I'm like, this world is huge, vast. And I walked right up to the edge, and I'm looking over the edge, and I went a little bit too far, and I started falling. And as I'm falling, right, I'm like, oh no, I'm going to respawn, right? It's not like you can get hurt in Altspace, right? But I saw this cliff, and I reached out, and I aimed my teleport at it. And as soon as I let go, boom, I was thrown right onto that cliff to safety. And I was like, then it occurred to me, I'm finally getting used to the controllers. And if you're just starting out on the Quest, you will too. It only takes a couple of days to a week, right? And at some point, it's going to become automatic. You'll always feel the plastic controllers in your hand, but there's going to come a point where these become your hands, where you're not going to think about what buttons you're pushing. Like if I say to everybody, hey, everybody, look out that window right now. I don't think about how I'm pointing. I just do it. And the way I do this, if I hold down my right grip button, I'm pointing. If I hold down my left grip button, I'm also pointing. And I can give everybody a Brook on hello. Everybody give me a Brook on hello like this, and show me your hands. You're like, go like that, move, let me see it. Going like that, okay, not too into it, that's cool. Maybe you can put this together like this, maybe make the Altspace logo like that, all right? You hold that up there, all right, that's cool, right? Then you can maybe twist them around like that, and maybe make a picture frame like this, make that moment last forever, right? And squeeze your trigger like that, little shutter. Wouldn't it be cool if you could take a screenshot like that? You just hold your hand up like that and be like, oh yeah, just like that's perfect. Oh yeah, looking good. What's your name there? All right, crab legs. Yeah, just like that. There we go. Snap that picture. All right. And maybe that didn't flash off my fingers like this. And now if you hold down your trigger buttons, you get 2 thumbs up, right? Maybe I'm not doing a good job today. Give me 2 thumbs down. Maybe you don't know yet. Maybe you can just hey man, I don't know, a little bit of both, right? And then you can put your thumbs together like this. One of the first Quest times that we had, so somebody came up to the audience from the audience before the show started, and they started going like this because our event groups were like Ravenhall, right? So they were doing this, and it was pretty cool. You had like 3 people going like that. And what I mean by this is, if somebody's doing something you think is cool, the best way to pick this stuff up is by mirroring them. Just by copying somebody. So like if you're holding down your grip and your trigger button on both hands, and if you touch your thumb to the buttons or the thumbstick without pushing down, your thumbs will go up and down. You can combine that into a cool dance move, right? And say you like that. Like, hey, I want to dance too, right? All you got to do, just go up to them and mirror them, all right? And by copying them, you'll be able to pick this stuff up. After a while, this stuff's going to become automatic. All right, another button that you should be aware about is if you're having a room scale experience, for some reason this always happens, right? You walk out past your main menu, and as soon as you do, somebody in Altspace is going to say, open your main menu. And you're going to be like, oh man, where is this thing? And you're going to be looking around. It's like always behind you, right? So what you can do is always remember that your main menu is always in your hands. Some handy information, right? What you can do is on your left controller, you've got this flat button right here. And when you press it, your main menu is going to open up, right? And if you press it again, your main menu is going to close. I'll be honest with you, I haven't touched that blue and white button in months, right? That menu button on the menu wheel there, I haven't touched that in months. Anytime I need to open my menu, I just flick my hand out like that by pressing that flat button on my left controller, and then my menu's open. I flick it again, and my menu's closed. You don't have to flick your hand like that. I just think it looks cool. It's kind of stylish. Like menu open, menu close, just like that. So, feel free to do that. But yeah, that's a cool way to go about doing that. Another thing that you need to keep in mind is when I first came in on my Quest, I went to the campfire, right? I noticed I was feeling good. I felt like I was walking on air, right? I felt like I was all kind of just above it all, really. And I'm looking around, and I realized all the other avatars were shorter than me. And I was like, what's going on? And I looked down, and I realized I'm floating this high off the ground. And I'm like, okay, this is weird, right? And this is because on the Quest, you need to worry about your vertical movement. If somebody's willing to stand up a little bit, or scooch down their chair, change their vertical height for me, we can show everybody what this is like. All right, anybody? Nobody's willing to do that? All right, cool. All right, it's the first time it's ever happened. Oh, all right, here we go. Hey, cool. All right, hey, now if you press down your left thumbstick, show everybody what happens. Press down that left thumbstick. There you go, boom. Now that's what happens. So if you're feeling too tall or too short, right, all you have to do is press down your left thumbstick, and that's called recentering, and you'll be more comfortable. So if you're like, oh no, I don't understand why all the avatars are so much taller than me. And all you do is press down that left thumbstick, and that'll take care of that. All right, now the other button you need to be aware of, and don't push this now, because if you disappear, I'm going to feel it right down here. But the other button you need to be aware about is this flat button on the right controller. You got to think of this as an eject button. It's really the best way to leave Altspace. And when you do, you're going to be confronted with a choice to quit or resume. When you press resume, you're going to be brought right back into Altspace. So if you press this button by accident, like you're dancing around at the Universe, and all of a sudden you go like that, and you press that button, right? And then you just say resume, and you come right back, and you never, you'll be right back where you left off, and no one will even know you were gone. You're going to be looking around going, did anybody see that? All right, cool. All right, I didn't just disappear. All right, awesome. So you'll be able to, do that. But this is also a good button to press when things go wrong. Okay. So let's say that, for example, you turn your head, right? And there's a black void on the edge of the screen. You think, uh-oh, something's gone wrong. And you look up and there's a black void and you're like, oh no, it's spreading. And you look to the left side, there's a black void, and you look down, there's a black void, and all your friends are frozen in space like this, and something's seriously, gone wrong here. What you're going to want to do is you press down that flat button on your right controller, all right? And this way, then you press quit, and then you restart the app. But this is going to take care of most of the problems you're going to have in Altspace. But occasionally, that's not going to work. Occasionally, like let's say you see that maybe you move your head and the whole world moves with you, right? And that can make you feel like real sick when that happens. And you're going to need to leave in a hurry, right? And you'd be like, well, Michael Forrest said you press that flat button and you get taken out, but it's not working. And that's like when your game freezes like that, when your device freezes like that. What you want to do is you're going to need to know how to restart your headset quickly. Now, in the beginning, when I first started out, I would take my headset off to reset it. And what can happen is if you've got to go to reset the headset like that, it can take about 20 some odd seconds for it to restart. See your hand going up there, Fight Mite? If you have any questions, we'll be taking them at the end, okay? Maybe I'm going to get to what your question is, and we'll just be taking them at the end, so hang on to that. But yeah, if you when the restarting process can take a little while, and if it's not in a charging cycle, the light won't light up, and you may get to thinking that your device is broken. That's what happened to me. So you should get in the habit of being able to restart your headset while it's still in your head. And the way you do this is you take your index finger, right, and you swipe it down, up and down on the side, and you're going to feel the raised up button there. Now take your other index finger, all right, and you squeeze them together for about 4 seconds. And I find it funny to look down like you're concentrating, right? You're concentrating so hard that after about 4 seconds, you concentrate so hard your avatar disappears. You get plunged into the darkness. And you're staring at the black screen, your device shuts off, but you just keep holding those fingers together. And after about 10 seconds, you start to wonder, why did Oculus make it take so long, right? I don't know. After about 15 seconds go by, you start thinking about friends you haven't seen in a while. You wonder how they're doing, 20 seconds, you start thinking about life, And after about 27 seconds or so, you're going to see the Oculus logo emerge from the darkness like a bat signal, right? And all of a sudden, it's going to start pulsing. And when it does, you just take your fingers away like that, right? And then your device will start as normal, and you come in, back in Altspace there, and everything should be working fine. It's going to take care of most of the problems you're going to have. Now, very occasionally, something like, severe could happen. Like one time I come out of Altspace, and I got this message saying Oculus Home is closing. And I'm like, all right, this is weird. I've never seen that before. And there was a big blue button that says OK. So I go to press OK, and what happened was the screen just said loading, and it's went on for a few minutes, and I'm like, something's seriously wrong. This is even worse than that void thing. That void thing was terrible. So what I did was I did the whole deep concentration pose, right? And I restarted my device, and it still said loading, and I'm like, well, that's really weird. So what I did after that was I asked my good friend Google about it, and Google said a lot of people were having this problem, and the one thing to do was a factory reset, and that factory reset to put the device the way it was when you first got it. The downside to this is you're going to lose all your apps. You're going to have to, re-download them again. But, that's not too bad because you won't have to pay for them again. But you will lose all of your settings, or if you have any photos saved, or your Beat Saber scores, stuff like that. You're going to lose all of that. All right. So you only use this in a severe emergency. All right. Like when there's, so it's important to be aware that can be a thing. All right. So now let's see what else we have here. All right. So keep that in mind, that you have that as an option. All right, now, if you're here today, you're already familiar with your Guardian system because you did the tour, right? You danced with the robot, you played with the blimp. That was a lot of fun, right? But you can actually use your Guardian system to your advantage in Altspace. Now, you remember earlier when I said, when you turn your head and the whole world moves with you and you get the dizzy feeling? If you're new to VR and you experience this dizziness, even if you're not on the Quest or another device, one trick that you can do is if you look at your hand and focus on it, you'll find that the dizziness passes. And when it passes, you can slowly take the hand away and take in the world around you. It gives you something to focus on, right? You can use your Guardian system for this purpose too. Now I've noticed if you're gonna somebody's gonna be like, if you're gonna mess with your Guardian system, keep in mind, I'll see this all the time. Somebody walking in Altspace, they'll be walking along, and all of a sudden they go boom because they hit a wall in the real world, right? You need to be careful. You don't injure yourself. You don't damage your device. But what you want to do is to use your Guardian system to your advantage in Altspace, right? Always lead with your hands, especially if you're new to VR. And when you get up to the edge of your area here, you're going to notice that your white grid appears in the air in front of you, right? And when it does, right, you can still move your thumbsticks. Right? So you can be standing up against your real world wall like this, And you can still move your thumbsticks around. So I can still move my avatar around while I'm standing still in the real world, right? So I'm moving my avatar around and I come up to this display here. And what I can do is kind of line it up with my real world wall, right? This way, I have a frame of reference and, I can look at it and I know wherever I move around, that's my real world wall, right? And oh no, I've fallen off the stage. I'm in the audience. Oh, audience. Now let's say the audience gets hostile and everybody starts to mess with me, like try to make me dizzy, stick your hands in my face, get it all out, right? Just so, kind of just mess with me. Nobody, wow, you're a really polite group. Usually at this point, they're all over me. Okay, yeah. You stick your hands in my face like that. No space bubble here. You just throw your hands on like that. Now, no matter what you do, as long as I can see that display in front of me, you'll notice my words aren't breaking. I'm having no trouble, talking or concentrating, right? Now, I mean, that's a big display. You're going to have to do better than that. You really are. That's just, you guys really aren't even trying for that. Usually it's a lot worse than this. I'll have to be looking at that like one pinhole of the screen. But as long as I see that display, I'm totally fine. I have no issue concentrating. I could sit here all day and just, talk freely because I'm comfortable, because I can see that real world, I can see that display and know that that's my real world wall. It basically anchors me to the real world by having that frame of reference. And it doesn't have to be something big like a display like that. What you can do, right, is like take the edge of the stage here, right? And you can line this up with your real world table or maybe a desk or something like that. And this will give you a frame of reference and it'll be like a reality anchor. This way you connect to the real world. And if you get dizzy in VR, that'll help you feel more stable, okay? That's one thing you can do. Now, another thing you can do is you're gonna be able to transition between a room scale and a stationary experience pretty effortlessly while you're in Altspace. Right? So let's say I'm up here and, this is my second event today and I'm tired. I'm exhausted. I've been doing this all day, every day. And I need to slow down. I need to take a break, right? What you can do is you go up to like the edge of your guardian system, right? Make sure you got enough room to move your head through, right? By sticking your hands out, right? I see, okay, I got enough room there. So I can stick my head through. When I do, my pass-through camera goes off and I can now see the real world, right? Like say I got my coffee right here, take a sip of that, that's good, right? And I see I got my chair right over there. So what I can do is I can walk on over to my chair, right? And as I sit down, I can press that big blue button that says I want to have a stationary experience. And when I press it, right, not only will VR come back into view, but I'll find I'm still in Altspace. I never left. This works. I see a hand going up there. Mason, you're going to we'll be taking questions at the end, okay? Just hang on to that. All right. So now let's see. What you want to do is you're going to, so like this works in the other direction too. So like, let's say that, I was actually moderating for this event. And I wanted to get up and walk around. It's a big deal for me. So I get up to walk around and usually you just get up and you step in your Guardian, right? But sometimes the Quest can lose your Guardian system due to changes in light level and it can't resolve its position. And it's usually no big deal to draw a new boundary, right? But, there was 2 minutes left in the event and I was worried I wouldn't be able to get back in. So I start drawing my boundary out and I'm like drawing the line. I'm like, why of all days did I have to moderate for an admin today? Why? And then why is my space so big? I don't know. And then as I'm like closing the loop there, as soon as I close the loop, the grid comes up out of the ground, right? And not only am I still in VR, right? But I'm still in Altspace. I never left. All anybody sees is your avatar frozen like this. I always pause there, and you know what happened? One time, I actually lost my internet right when I went like that to do the pause, and people were sitting in the audience, right, and they're still looking, they're like, wow, he's really dragging this bit out. He's really committed to the role. Look at it, he's got such range. Look at that, he's just so into it. But then I disappeared and everybody was like, whoa, it was a little bit too hard to sell. I actually only, lasted a couple of minutes. I was back and then, it was funny. Everybody had a good laugh, but it was weird timing, I will remember that. All right. Another thing you can do with your Guardian system that's pretty cool. It's not real useful, but it is cool. Is when you go up to the edge of it and you make sure you got enough room to stick your head through. But when you stick your head through, you know how the pass-through camera goes off? If you do it really slowly, you'll be able to see both realities at the same time. And what's cool about this is you'll be able to get a real sense of scale for how big the Altspace avatars are. Like I never realized how tall avatars actually are. They're about 6 feet tall. They're actually really wide too. And you're not aware of that when you're in Altspace. But when you see them like in your living room or in your office or wherever you do your VR from, in a familiar environment, you'll get a real sense of scale or how big everyone is, right? Okay. Now, the great thing about the Quest is that it just works. It doesn't mean it can't work better. There's some great accessories for the Quest that are available, like the earbuds that hang down from the sides, right? I don't know what I look like when I'm in VR, but when I wear these things, I think I look fancy. First time I wore these things, I went to the campfire to try them out. And there's a breeze in the campfire. I've been in Altspace for like a year. Nobody ever told me that. And I went down by the fence area and it went by the water and I heard the water rushing and I was like, I never heard that before. It turns out that there is a even though the sound on the Quest is really good, it turns out that there's a lot of rich ambient sound in Altspace that can make the experience way more immersive. All right, so I can't recommend doing that enough. They're really great. Also, if you think the Quest is uncomfortable, and a lot of people do in the beginning, all right, because you know what? Oculus doesn't do a good job of advertising the fact that there's a breaking in period. All right, so a lot of people will get like counterbalances, they'll get external battery packs and things to change the weight of it, right? But really what it is the oils in your face will eventually soften the insert, and it'll actually change the balance of it as the springs and all that kind of get broken in. And it takes a couple of weeks, but a lot of people will do is they'll modify their device too early, and then after the breaking in period, the balance changes again, and then they're left with the opinion that the Quest is uncomfortable. And I've known people who have returned it for this. But it actually, it's when it is broken in, you're going to find that you don't feel like you're even wearing it. These just become your eyes in the same way that these just become your hands, right? So you will get used to it. Just give it some time. And if you still find it's uncomfortable, they have some like inserts that you can get from VR Cover that make it like, man, it feels like your face is in a pillow. It's a good experience. Can't recommend it enough. Very comfortable. Also, you have these prescription inserts or for your lenses. If you wear glasses, this can make it more comfortable for you and protect not only the lenses of your glasses, but the lenses of your headset, because they can be pretty expensive if you scratch those, right? Also, speaking of protecting your headset, listen, this travel case is really good. The case the Quest comes in is really fantastic, but if you're going to be moving around, I'd recommend a travel case because you want to keep your device safe. Because if something should happen to it, it's not going to be like losing your toaster. If you spend a lot of time in Altspace and you made friendships in here and you've made some connections, then when you lose your device, something goes wrong. It's not like losing your toaster. People really register it as an actual loss, and it can be really rough on people. I've seen it happen. It's not fun. All right, so let's see. Now, if you want to try any of these products, they're super easy to find. You can go to altvr.com. You go up to where it says channels on the left-hand side there, and you'll see all these Altspace event channels come up, and you'll see Ravenhall events down toward the bottom of the page. If you click on Ravenhall events, you're taken to our event page, and you're going to see all these products on the left-hand side. If you'd like to try any of them out, you'll see a join Discord button. If you need to reach us for any reason, you can reach us on our Discord. And you'll also see the most important button on the internet, the subscribe button. And when you press it, Altspace will know that you enjoy our content. We don't get paid to do this, so anytime we see that number go up, it makes us feel good. So if you enjoy our content, it's a nice way to say thank you. And so yeah, now we're going to be taking your questions and your comments. Maybe try an accessory I haven't mentioned here today, and I'm seeing like hands go up and all this stuff. I'm taking that stuff now. Now we're going to make a raise hand button appear on your lower right, as if by magic. Let me see. Here we go. And if while we're waiting for this menu to this question panel to fill up here, if you'd like to follow us on Twitter, you can find us at __ Uncanny Valley. I know it looks like one underscore, but it's actually two. All right, Mason, you have a question? You've been pretty eager to ask. What's up? What's up, Mason?
I was gonna say on one of them. Hold on.
Okay. Well, does anybody else have a question while Mason is care? Looks like you got an issue in that so-called real world. Look at it. His headset's going off. He's addressing the many issues. He's walking around. He's like, not now. I'm on stage. This is my moment. I could have been Altspace famous. All right, but no. All right, your hand's going back up there again. All right, let's see. There you go, Mason. You're back on the air. What's up?
Okay, sorry, my mom was on the phone call.
No worries. Say hello to her from all of us. Sound like 20 people said hello. So what's your question?
So on one of your presentation things,
Yeah.
I said, oh wait, I remember now. On the Guardian thing, you could stick your head through. But Oculus now released a pass. You just click on the left or right side of your Quest, and it opens you can see
Yes,
the world.
I have not tried that yet, but I am looking forward to the update coming through. I can't wait to do that because it's going to be super convenient. Because you know what? When I'm presenting up here, I knock my slides over all the time. Have you tried it yet? Is it awesome? Tell us about it.
Yeah, I do this.
You just tap, and that's it? Oh,
Yeah,
and you can hear it too. Oh, so we all hear this boom, boom, and everybody's going to be like, what's that? And it's like, that's my vision looking into the real world. Yeah, that'd be cool. I can't try that. It's going to be awesome. All right, let's see. Who else do we have here? We have Trey. Trey, you're on the air, and I get to feel like a radio host. Where are you? Where are you, Trey? I don't see you.
Hello, Mr. Radio Host.
Oh, how you doing, Mr. Trey? Yes, I can hear you fine. Can you hear me?
Yes. My question is...
Cow to Trey. Come in, Trey. What's your question?
So I'm already past the point on the Quest. I'm for sure wanting it, but when is it going to be available for stock? Because I tried to get one, but they were all sold out, and I had to get a Go, which I'm not disappointed. The Go is awesome as well, but I would like to be prepared for a Quest.
Yes, well, there has been an incredible demand since they came out, right? And it seems like
Mhm.
they, as soon as they release them, they all sell out, and then there's another wave. And we've seen it in Altspace where wave after wave of users keep coming in. So it's very popular. It's great that it's been so accessible. What's even more great about it is they keep making improvements to the device without making you buy a new one. Like when I
Oh,
first got the
great,
Quest,
great.
it didn't have like the hand tracking, and they didn't have the Oculus Link option available where you can connect to your computer and have Rift-like experiences. And I'll be honest, if you guys haven't tried the Link cable yet, you really should, because it's like having two devices, right? It's like having like a regular Quest portable, and it's also like having a Rift as well. So it's a
So
it's a
basically,
great thing.
so basically, if
I
I,
don't know.
if I hook the link up to my computer, I can,
Yes.
play Steam, VR, all that stuff on there.
Exactly.
Like art, for
Yes.
example, I could do that.
Yes.
Okay, that's great.
Exactly.
That's really great.
Yeah,
Okay,
it's fantastic. It is. I tell you this. Well, I can't tell you when the next release date is going to be. I can tell you it is absolutely worth waiting for. It is. It's a
Awesome.
really fantastic experience. You're going to enjoy it. And and make sure
Now,
you come by Quest Time when you get it. This way you can get used to the controls real quick. Okay. All right. Let's see. We got
Awesome.
time for
Thank
one
you.
more question. We got Spocket Blue. I can't see the full name, so if I'm messing the name up, let me. Let's see if I can find you. Where are you? Spocket, speak to me. I'm gonna guess
Hello,
here.
how's
There
it
you are.
going?
What's up?
Hey, I
Oh, you
was
are
wondering,
blue.
it's Sprocket Blue.
Oh, there you go.
I was wondering if this is like a D&D type of thing or just a
If what's a
question.
D&D type of thing?
Well, I saw, oh, it's question time. Oh, never mind. I'm good.
Oh no, I see what you're saying. You saw the quest time on the name of the
Yeah,
event, and you saw the
ID
knights
new-
on it, and you're thinking,
Yeah.
oh cool, we're gonna get to run around in armor, and they're gonna be swords and stuff, right? But no,
Yeah,
no.
pretty much.
We're basically playing with the name Quest. It's basically a metaphor. You can see the headsets and the controllers. We basically talk about how to use the Quest to your advantage in all space. And this is like kind of the end of the event, so you probably missed like the lead up going to it. But yeah, so there will be no dragons today. We do have a couple of dragons on the slide, just kind of a theme. But we do have, if you are looking for adventure, right? At the end of our events, we take everybody flying, right? And the place we go to fly, you can actually fly these hovercraft that we now have available. We call them Ravenhall Talons, right? Talon hovercrafts. And to get there, we're going to go there in style. You see this big red button, in all of its big red shininess. When I press
like
this
big red
button,
buttons.
yes, big red button's awesome. And when you press the big red button, what you're going to see is you're going to see one of these Talon hovercrafts fly down the street past the window. It's going to go up over those trees, and it's going to come down in that backyard area to pick us all up and take us over to the Ravenhall Flight Academy. So if you want to learn how to fly, or you'd like to fly one of these ships, you absolutely can. Also, if you have more questions, we can take them there, okay? So I'm going to go ahead,
Okay.
I'm going to push that, but I'm going to unmute everybody because, honestly, I like hearing how people react to this thing when they see it. I think it's pretty cool. I'm going to see if we, there we go. Everyone's unmuted. All right,
Oh,
awesome.
I've been doing
All right, so
VR
I'm going to
for
push this
a
button.
while.
Here we go. I'm going to push this button now. and here we
Ravenhall
go.
Talon aircraft en route to your position.
There it is. All right, so it's going by the window there. It's going to go up in the back. And listen, if you've learned anything, let's go outside and join it. But if you've learned anything here today, please share it with everyone you come in contact with. Like you're in a campfire and somebody says, oh no, I'm stuck on the ground, and they're, down low like that. Just tell them to press down that left thumbstick. They'll raise up and they'll feel better, and you'll feel better to help someone. And that's how we keep this thing going. All right, cool. It's coming in for a landing now, and you're going to see this teleporter appear, and we'll go off to the flight academy.
Talon aircraft is now boarding outside for transport to the Ravenhall Flight Academy. Please exit the building and step into the blue light. Thank you.
Thanks for coming, everybody. You've been a great audience. I'll see you next time.